And we are back. We're going to get into our weekly Bravo showdown where we're going to talk about the main conflict of the episodes. We're going to see whose team we're on. Courtney will say what team she's on. I'll say what team I'm on. We'll see if we agree. We'll see if we disagree. Let's get into it. Let's start with we'll save Atlanta for last because that was
Let's start with McBee.
Okay. So the main conflict in the McBee dynasty this week is that Steven Jr. has lost his fucking mind. He decided that sorry, I just gotta review one. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. I just gotta read this really fast. Okay. Sorry. I'm a nurse, you guys, and sometimes patience. Okay, anyways.
Baby calls.
Yeah, sorry. I had to make sure I didn't have to like jump off really quick. Anyways, okay, so Steven Jr. has lost his damn mind. He has this girlfriend that he's had for 3 minutes and
Literally 3 fucking minutes.
3 minutes. And he's decided that, no matter what, he's in it for the long run with her, to the extent that his future sister-in-law, Kacey, has partnered with the McBees using their beef tallow product, and she's launched a pretty successful skincare line using said beef tallow. So her expectation is it's her business. Of course, she would split profits with the McBees, but that's pretty much all she wrote. Steven, in his schizophrenic mind, said, no. We're going to cut in my girlfriend that I've had for 3 minutes.
But you got to rewind because first he says, oh, Allie would be good to help with marketing.
Yes.
Not Calla. What's her name?
Allie.
Allie goes, that sounds great. Then he said, okay, now finish.
Yeah, then he said, actually, she can just get 20% of profit because she has a background in finance and she's going to help promote.
Please no, not finance, in marketing.
Marketing
means she's an influencer. She was not some CMO of she's not Bose. She's an influencer.
She has not done any work. She's not promoted the business yet. Kacey has started this business, been fulfilling the orders on her own.
And wait, excuse me, also making the product by hand.
Like this
I love that girl. So I'm like, no.
Yeah. So that's the main conflict of the episode. Well, yeah, that's the main one that we care about.
Yeah, I would say that's the main conflict.
At the end of it, Courtney, who you got?
I'm Team Allie. I'm Team Allie.
Wait, Team Allie or Team Kacey?
Sorry, Team Kacey.
Okay.
These names are confusing me. Team Kacey. I am Team Kacey 120,000%. Sunday, get down. Off. I don't have time for this dog. Anyways, I honestly, you want to know who I think the real, not villain, but Cole should have beat Steven Jr.'s ass.
I do not, because at the
he made her cry.
So we should also explain that Kacey, she really mustered up the courage to talk to Steven about this herself. And
for whatever reason, he intimidates them all.
He does. And I don't know why, because we found out at the end of the episode that he holds no weight. Like, he put your mom in charge of the company before he put you in front of
Sheree, he can't even last in bed. I'm sorry. I'm not respecting or scared of a nigga that can't last past 2 minutes on the regular.
And you know what's crazy about that is...
Yeah.
It's so
typical. 2 minutes.
It's so typical because he's one of those, like, when you look at his socials, I work out, I have a clean lifestyle. Nigga, you should be... You know what I'm saying? Like,
it should be lasting for 20 minutes.
Yeah, but you know what? All he eats is damn beef. All he posts on his page is him eating beef. Protein.
Add some broccoli in
there. You know what that does to the blood pressure? It makes your blood pressure shoot up, which makes your pee do this. Well, when you take medication.
I love beef.
When you take medication.
But you can't. Yeah, you can't be eating beef 24/7. It's not healthy.
Anywho, Kacey, she pulls him to the side and she reasonably speaks to him and tells him exactly what we've just said. This does not make any sense. Your girlfriend hasn't done any work for this. Yeah, she has not done anything for this, and I don't need her to do anything for it. And he comes back at her with like, well, I mean, the damn orders are backed up since October. So like he's had in his head how he was gonna respond to this. He already knew there was
Mhm.
gonna be smoke. Mind you,
Go
oh,
ahead.
sorry. My the last upload just finished, so it just took me out of Zoom. So I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Mind you, earlier in the episode, they're all preparing for his dad to go to jail. Like shit's getting real. There's a lot of things going on at home that he should be available for. He takes this as the time to go out to Texas and meet his girlfriend that he's had for 3 minutes family because he intends to low-key ask her dad for her hand in marriage. And she's vehemently saying, I would certainly hope he would talk to me before he did something
He
like
is
that.
creepy. He went in with Kacey as an intimidation tactic to, like you said, oh, well, the orders have been backed up. You think I'm gonna work for $15 an hour? Makes her cry. Then he says, well, and I was actually very proud of Kacey. He's like, well, by this time next year, she will be my wife.
I was
When he said that,
appalled.
I said, you are a scary human being. Wait, did you hear on Watch What Happens Live? Andy asked him what Bravo Love he would like to date, and he said Sierra and Mia. First off, you don't like an ethnic woman, and that's okay. I don't think everyone needs to like everybody, but you like a blonde hair, blue eye, which you have said in your creepy notes. So now you're trying to do damage control because you've called that poor girl all types of sluts and whores. So now you're trying to be like, oh, I'll date a black girl and an Afro Latina. Fuck
Well, they're
off.
all
Fuck
on the
off.
entire McBee family is all on the internet right now trying to trash this girl and make her seem like a gold digger. If she was a gold digger, that's Steven's bad because he chooses not to vet any of the women that he dates. They all
No,
see him as a fucking trick. He's a
I
trick.
am sick of the gold digger narrative when it comes to these men. Unless you are an 85-year-old man that is losing his mind, you're telling me you have an MBA and you can't tell if a woman's a gold digger or if actually likes you? Fuck
Courtney,
off.
it ain't tricking if you got it. He leads with, let
Oh,
me
he
buy
leads
you a
with,
condo. Let me
but
move
that's
you
the
into
point I'm
my
making.
family's
He's not
property.
getting, to me, when people try to say gold digger, oh, she's just used. No, he's told Kala, oh, I'll get you an apartment. I'll make my mom sign for an apartment. Oh no, calm down. What kind of ring do you want? You want 50? I'll buy you a $50,000 ring. That's not a gold digger. He is buying these women because he's such a loser. He can't just get women. Yeah, he's very good looking. He's muscular, but they start, especially this girl, she's noticing how crazy he is.
And he's got a receding hairline. He's 30 and he looks like he's 41.
Cherie, I thought he was my age. And then when he said he was 31 or whatever, I
He's
said, eh,
31. He looks 41. Like,
he
please,
does.
please. And yes, Cole, you not getting involved in this whatsoever, you pansy little, like, what is going on? You
He
can
could have
see,
had his
you can,
fucking
and
ring
like,
back then and
let me tell
there.
you how bad this family pisses me off in the climate that we live in today. Your dad is literally going to jail for farm fraud. Okay, we're literally living in a time where frauds are under some frauds. Farms are under so much scrutiny for their
Mhm.
practices. They've been defunded in so many ways that protect us as constituents of society from things like the cyclospora parasite and things that we're now exposed to. So you've already got that stain on your back that like during these times your dad's out here undercutting the government in millions of dollars. That's number one. Then you guys want to sit on this show every week and talk about your money problems. And we really got to watch what we're doing and this, and that. But Cole has $20,000, $30,000 to get an engagement ring.
I said,
You guys
sir,
have enough
you should have
money
bought a
to
lab
rent
diamond.
a van to transport your dad 5 hours to prison so he has a proper send off and so you can spend time with them. Like, get the
Have you
fuck
seen
out
the
of
cars
here.
they're driving?
The cars they're
Cayenne, Porsche
driving,
Cayennes, Escalades. These are all 100,000 plus
money
the
to
base
build
model.
houses. And listen, I know that like there's loan processes and stuff like that. But again, I say if your father just went to jail for issues related to white collar crimes and defrauding the government, reporting illegally on his crops and things like that. These are all low-key financial kind of crimes. I'm not a legal person. All I'm saying is
It's all money.
two
It's
plus two
fraud.
isn't acting isn't equaling four here. And then you guys sit here every week like, all I'm saying is like they're like Black people don't get that kind of sympathy in life. It's like you guys are not hurting for grocery money. Your company, oh, we had to close the headquarters. You still are operating this business. Some way,
This
somehow,
is
you're
my
still fully
thing.
operational.
Look, your dad's going to a federal prison for 2 to 3 years. Enough.
Enough.
Like, he's not going away for 50 years. He's going to be like in county jail. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm running out of fucks to give. Honestly, what keeps me watching the show is the mess with like the relationships, the Galena of
yes.
it all, Asar
Wait,
and
whose side are
Aslan.
you on? I mean, I think we can already tell.
Yeah, I'm definitely on Kacey's side here. And I'll start by saying, like, I find Kacey generally obnoxious. I find all of the girls on this show generally obnoxious.
They're
Um,
whiny.
yeah, and I mean that's just and my issue with women like her is this man treated you like shit from every which way, every direction since high school. You guys have been together in high school. And now he gets engaged to you and he knocks you up and it's like, "Oh, my fairy tale." Like you had to go through all that suffering to get the fairy tale of the ex-convict father-in-law, your brother-in-law trying to take your business from you.
She'd been
I
better off married
want
a
better
black
for
man.
her. I want better for her. But yes, I'm on
Yes.
her side. This is ridiculous. So
I'm
Team
telling you,
Casey, ding ding ding.
Cole should have beat his ass. He should have Joe Judice him. What did you say to my wife?
No, they all act scared of him, so he gonna sit there and take it.
I do need to watch the latest episode though, where they
I
named
watched
the
it
mom.
today. All that happened was
I
literally
just
that.
realized there was a new episode on Monday, so I need to watch where they named the mom president and left
Oh
off the
yeah,
youngest son.
yeah, and they left out the youngest son. Steve Senior goes to jail. Jesse's still being mean to his wife.
Who
Um,
would have thought he would be this mean and Cole is actually becoming like mature?
And
Who would
their
have thought?
baby is so young, and I just feel bad for her because I know she must feel really trapped.
I think that's why she went along. Remember that when they were engaged or planning the wedding, she was acting kind of weird.
Yeah.
And then she realized she was pregnant. I think that's really why they both went along with the marriage. They
Because
said, well, we're
neither of
having a
them even
baby.
seemed happy to be engaged when,
She wanted to marry him because they had been together for what, 15 years?
yeah,
Something
since high
crazy since high
school.
school.
Yeah.
Sunk cost fallacy. It'll get you every time.
Let's talk about Housewives of Orange County. Next
Yes.
round. Next round. The main well, there's a couple conflicts here. It was like Jen versus Heather, Jen versus
Which was
everybody,
so weird to
Jen
me.
versus everybody, Tamra versus Heather, and then Tamra versus Emily. So let's start with Jen versus everybody. Because I feel like this is a girl issue that like clearly you don't even work out in your 40s or 50s. Jen, what she's doing is she's listening to girl talk, right? Because there's like this gray area in groups of friends where it's like sometimes when we get together with our girlfriends, if there's one friend in particular that is on the outs with us at that moment, or maybe they're collectively getting on everybody's nerves, maybe people get together and have a vent session about it. You don't talk about Fight Club, right? That conversation is
You're
supposed to stay there. What
just
Jen
venting. It doesn't count.
but because Jen has conflict with Tamra and she wants Tamra to know, like, I'm not the only person that has a problem with you, you're a problem for everybody. She takes those sacred sessions and she goes and she tells Tamra, oh, ooh, I'm not the only person that has a problem with you. Gina said this person said this person said that. So everybody collectively is like, shut the fuck up, Jen. Like, mind your fucking business. At the end of this,
It's like we're gonna go back to not liking you.
yeah, and I mean, at the end of that battle, I'm team everybody else. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm
It's
team everybody else because Jen, you just got okay with everyone. Why are you throwing them under the bus? It's weird.
It's because she wants Tamra to see, I'm not the only person that doesn't like you. And it's like, that's not what it's doing, though. It's making everybody else not trust you, which then brings us to Jen versus Heather. Because
Because
Heather,
everyone is afraid of Tamra, and Jen just needs to understand that. They are going to try to save face because Tamra will do everything in her power to take you down. Everyone is afraid of her.
well,
Let
and
it go.
the issue in the Jen Heather beef is that in that kind of conflict is Heather does this thing that she's been doing for years where she'll tell everybody, yeah, Tamara's out of control. I really only hang out with her in specific circumstances, i.e., when we're filming. I don't consider her one of my primary friends, and I have her in a specific box. She has used this language before when she has spoken
Like
about
every
Tamara.
season, she does this with Tamra.
And it comes across as you largely talking shit about Tamra. So again, Jen took it among herself to let Tamra know that this was going on, which inadvertently blew up Heather's friendship party a couple episodes ago. And so Heather's thing is she asks me about Tamra, and I say how I'm feeling, which I've said to Tamra before. But she brings it up all the time. Jen's thing is Heather is kind of a fake ass bitch because in Tamra's face, you
Yes.
act one way and another way. And then when you are with us, you're saying the same things we're saying. At the end of this battle, I got to go with Team Jen. And the reason why I'm going Team Jen on this is because Heather, just stand in it. You have literally been doing this for years with Tamra, where
Like
people
a decade.
it is like this is not the first time that this has been communicated to Tamra that Heather has said behind her back, Tamra is out of control. She lacks self-control. All of these negative things. I have her in a certain box. We are only these kinds of friends. X, Y, and Z. That is
Historical
truly
friends.
historical friend. That is truly how you feel about her. Just let her know that because Tamara's already hip to it. She explained articulately to Vicky exactly what Heather does, which
Hmm.
is love
I,
bomb people
yeah.
into, oh, I would never talk about you. You're one of my good friends. That's how she makes everybody trust her. But she thinks all of those women are beneath her, including Tamara. So I had
Wait,
to
you
go
know
with
something
Jen on
funny?
that one.
Chandler swears that she thinks Capricorns are liars, and Heather's a Capricorn, and
Yeah, I
she
mean,
be like,
I don't know
I
if there's
mean,
any science behind that, but Heather
no, that's
lies
just
all the
Chandler.
time.
I am Team Heather only because Jen, you were kind of didn't really have a friend last year. I formed an alliance with you. We had a gentleman handshake that we are an alliance. So now, why are you going back telling Tamara, who you two are enemies, that I'm talking shit? Durr, bitch, we're an alliance because we have the same enemy. And of course, those type of friendships never last because you're bonding over a common enemy. But in the sake of just like our gentleman handshake, if we said, you're my friend now, why are you going back telling our enemy that I don't fuck with her? Because I'm scared of her. Like, come on.
But the thing is, I don't believe Heather is scared of Tamara. I
No, I think
don't.
she is. No, I think she is. Because Tamara is ruthless. I think Tamara knows a lot about Heather because they're historical friends. Tamara will do anything to bring you down if she doesn't like you, whether it's a lie or not. Because you know Tamara will lie. And then she'll be like, oh, this is what I heard. And then take it off as that after she spent a whole season crucifying your ass with that lie. Then be like, oh, well, I didn't mean it. She loves to backtrack real quick. Remember the whole, oh, Venus CBD makes more money than he stole from the Dodger. Oh, no, no, no. I didn't mean he stole because all of a sudden she was going to get sued.
Right, right.
Tamara loves to do that shit. Makes for great TV. I'm happy she's here. But why are you telling our enemy that I talk shit?
The
You're weird.
reason I don't believe for a second that Heather has any kind of fear when it comes to Tamara is because we can just play big bang take little bang.
Well, yes.
All she would have to do is get her in court and destroy her. And Tamara's already been through that before. So she's terrified of it because of Jim Bellino. So I don't
See?
think that Heather has any fear in Tam. In fact, I would think that Heather would have to let Tamra in deep for her to have any kind of ammo on Heather that would destroy her. Yeah, Tamra tells lies about people that like ruins their reputations, but at this point, everybody knows Tamra's a liar.
I think I don't think Heather is afraid of her in like the real sense of the world because yes, Heather has so much money. I think she's scared of her in the sense of this show. Because even though, just like Shamea, Heather has more money than God, but you know what money can't buy? It can't buy you it factor and it can't buy you fame.
And
So
we know she's been chasing fame since that C list,
since fucking
TV career. Yeah,
1992.
yeah.
So I
I'm
think
still hanging
she
on Team
wants.
Jen on this just
No,
because.
I mean, I get why you're Team Jen,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
it's not crazy, but also like Jen, we made a gentleman's handshake. I
No,
can't
like
stand
in girlfriend code, I see what you're saying on
like
that.
I
I
just
do.
can't stand when we're both talking shit and then you try to tell that I'm talking shit to like prove your point. What the fuck?
Yeah, because it's like Jen, like I didn't know Jen was trying to be friends with Tamara again. Like I didn't
It
realize.
was Sheree, I was so confused the whole time. I'm like, you act like you're trying to be her friend, but then you also still hate her. It's like to
Yeah.
me, when girlfriends talk shit, it's like confessing to the Pope or your lawyer.
Right. And that's why, like, when it came to the
You can't
battle of
say
like
shit
Jen versus everybody, it's like, Jen, you're about to Shamea yourself. Like, you're literally, you know,
because
um,
they're not self-aware and they're you know what her and Shamia's problem is? They're both trying to chase a storyline and be like, oh, I can make shit, I can stir shit. No, baby, stirring shit is it's a science.
yeah.
And few
You
women know
got to
how
be
to
like
do it.
Sheree. Well, if you're gonna stir shit, you can't apologize. Like Sheree would just
She
sit in it,
stands in it.
like, and be like, "Yeah, I told her because I thought she had the right to know." And it was like, "You're annoying," but okay, let's get into it. So, did you say that or not?
Angela Oakley. She's
If you're
not
gonna carry
as
the bone, you got to know the messenger gets shot.
and you have to be okay with that. Jen and Shamia are not bad bitches enough to be okay with getting shot.
No, no. The last
You got to
conflict
be tough.
of this episode was Tamra or Emily versus Tamra. So Emily has a podcast that she's had for a while with her husband Shane. It's a legal podcast because they're both attorneys. I actually quite enjoy it. They break
Oh, you
down
do? I've never seen it.
yeah, I was listening to them break down the Menendez brothers when they might have gotten overturned. And then there was some other true crime story they were covering last year that I listened to. But they were initially launched on iHeartRadio, but on Tamra's thread for Two T's in a Pod, the podcast that she has with Teddy. And recently, Emily made the decision to part ways with being branded with two T's, and she now has her own separate thread on iHeart, and she announced that on her Instagram. What she did not say on her Instagram was, I'm leaving two T's thread to start my own. Thank you so much, Tamara Judge, for the opportunity. Thank you, God. Thank you to my record label. She didn't say all of that. So because of that, Tamara feels that Emily was being ungrateful because she launched her podcast for her on her network. She was releasing episodes that pulled better numbers than what Emily was pulling by herself and felt like Emily owed her. Um in this conflict, I'm team Emily. Like I
Hmm.
I like when Emily broke it down and said like I have thanked you in the past. Um iHeart reached out, asked me to put up this post so that people know where to follow me now.
Because it's
It
like a
was
new RSS feed now. So it's like a whole,
a whole
they'd
new
have
thing,
to go follow her feed
her
or
feed, if they
subscribe
want to
rather.
still listen to it. So to get the listenership, you got to go to subscribe now. And so Tamara's thing was like, yeah, you didn't thank me and all this and all that. And Tamara and Shannon both have this habit of like, when they help somebody out, you owe them forever. Emily explained to Tamara, I was more than gracious. I have thanked you more than once. It was not my intention to make you feel slighted. But then you go on the reunion and say my podcast is failing and all these things in typical Tamra fashion because she admitted in the same conversation that Emily's podcast does great. So it's
She be
like
lying.
It's like you just make issues like out of nowhere. Emily considers you a friend, but you're always going out of your way to try to find a way that Emily's trying to do you dirty. I'm going with Emily, and I'm not a huge Emily fan, but I'm going with
So
her on this.
you make some great points, but I'm gonna have to stick with Team Tamra, and it almost feels like lava coming out of my mouth saying it because Tamra's two T's in a pod is extremely successful.
It is.
So Emily, if she okay, as people starting out, very small podcast, Emily is not dynamic enough. I don't think it would have done that well. And I don't think people would have gravitated. I guess what I say, I don't think people would have gravitated towards it if it wasn't pushed out on their feed via two T's in a pod. So, like she said, she did thank her and all that. I just think in the world of just like things you do, she should have just said, thank you, Tamara, and her goodbye. I think that's just the polite thing to do. Yes, is it dragging it? Absolutely. But I think she should have just thank you, two T's in a pod, for all the help. Now we're launching on our own. I think that's just what she should have done. But of course, Tamara always drags it, and Tamara be lying. So she had to be like, oh,
And
no
I
one
think
listens to
Tamara
it.
is always just looking for a reason to have beef with Emily. Like I think
Well,
in her core, she cannot stand Emily. And
and neither
now
can I,
Emily,
so I get it.
and I think Emily like hasn't been doing anything wrong. She hasn't been doing anything at all for seasons,
I
but
mean,
we digress.
that's why I hate Emily because I'm partly jealous that she gets to be on this TV show, making at least $300,000 a season, and being so uninteresting. Her and Emily, or her and Gina.
Well, at least Gina like is kind of funny sometimes, and
No, Gina is funny. Gina is funny.
yeah,
She's poor, and that bothers me for a housewife show.
she's getting better. This is the best she has ever looked. She
I
looks
was
good
just
this
gonna
season.
say, Mama is looking
She
amazing.
looks good. She looks really good.
She is looking. I do want her to
She
lose
looks
that
like the
loser.
Gina we first met.
Yes. No, she was a little disheveled
No,
because
like
she had all them kids and no husband.
her first season, like her hair extensions and stuff weren't as bad as it like got.
No, no, Sheree, they're bad.
Okay, well maybe I just don't
Because
remember.
remember that husband was all the way in Calabasas or Thousand Oaks.
I just remember when Vicky was over there for dinner and her son slapped the shit out of her.
Exactly, because he probably saw his dad. Allegedly. I don't
Oh,
know.
alleged. Oh, no, not allegedly. He went to jail for it. So, um, let's talk about Atlanta, child.
Ciao, ciao,
In the words of
ciao,
Cynthia Bailey, child.
ciao.
The main conflict, you
They're
already
taking
know.
me through it, Sheree. They're
You
taking me
already
through
know
it.
the main conflict. It picks right back up with Shamea versus or Porsha versus Shamea, with the bomb that Shamea dropped last week, where she insinuated that Portia's mother tried to sleep with Shamea's father, to which Porsha rebutted, "Your mother tried to sleep
Oh,
with your dad's brother."
and
Um,
Shamia said, which one?
And Shamea said which one. And shout out to Who Asked Sel podcast. I'm pretty sure that's the name of her podcast, but her name is Giselle on Instagram. And she said, look at now, Shamea. Now we gotta know about your daddy's dental history because of what you
Think,
did.
okay, when you said and Portia rebutted, I thought you were gonna say her daddy ain't never had no teeth.
I mean, it just obviously we don't even have to do an actual battle here. I think we're both team Porsha.
I
But
will never in my life be Team Shamia.
But let me preface this by saying, though, because Porsha is very interesting to me on the hills of morality that she chooses to die on, right? Because she wants to
Mhm.
talk about mothers being sacred and all of these things, right? But you tried to boo Bob Dennis's mother in Mexico.
Oh, you know what? That was a wild show.
You
She
you
did.
tried to physically assault somebody else's mother before, okay?
She did.
Like you don't care about the respective mothers, and if we're being really fair here, you did bring moms into it. You brought moms into it at the reunion last year when you brought the whole daycare story and then made your
Did
Instagram
Shamia
post.
bring that up first?
Did Shamea bring it up? I thought
Shamia brought
Portia brought up.
No, Shamea brought it up like vaguely, but then Portia said, "Oh, you want to go there? I'll tell the full story."
Okay, so then yeah, well then I'm still Team Porsha in that aspect. But my point is, right?
No,
Porsha,
she did try to fight Dennis's mom and
she
called her all
tries to
types of
fight Dennis's
bitches.
mom.
And
You
that's your
know,
child's grandmother.
yeah, hello. You know, said what you
She's
said about
never going anywhere.
so I could see why Shamea felt like, well, I didn't know that was taking it too low. I'm dealing with Porsha. But however, we all have a best friend that, you just know I have a best friend. Been best friends most of my life at this point. If we're not friends, just know all that we're gonna say is I just don't fuck with her anymore. Cause I know way too much about her where if we unloaded the cannon on each other, we would both be dead. Like
Yeah.
nobody would fuck with either of us anymore. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to let shit lie. Shamea took it to proportions that you cannot come back from. Don't call me your sister because my sister would never talk about my mom because we have the same one.
This is also my thing. I'm going to speak on Black culture because that's what I am.
Period.
But it is very known in Black culture, if you don't fuck with the mama, the kid is not going to you. That's like very well known in our culture.
We
You
saw
don't fuck
this
with me,
when
I'm not
Wendy
sending my
and
child to you.
Robin in Potomac, when Robin was trying to say Wendy's kids could go to her family field day, and Wendy was like, my kids are not going. I don't like Robin. She doesn't like me.
What? Because in our minds, it's like you're gonna like pinch, as my mom always says, pinch my kid under the table or something
Or
because you don't
or
like
talk,
me.
because here's the thing, we both black. Or you gonna sit here and talk shit about me in front of my child, or your messy mother will, and be
Yep,
like,
in
oh
like
my dad.
earshot where the kid's getting food and then they're like at the drink table 2 feet over.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, that's messy Brenda's daughter. But her daughter's so cute, but Brenda, she a
Yeah,
little
you know how
messy.
people
Like,
can be. So, like, obviously, no. And honestly, Dennis, the fact that Portia even had to tell you that is kind of crazy.
no, because
Um,
He knows Dennis likes to get under Portia's skin because he's
yeah,
mad that Portia said, I'm done. Because you cheated on
because
her
you
while she
cheated
was
on me while
pregnant.
I was pregnant when I specifically asked you not to.
I specifically asked you not to.
Like,
And you
please.
said, so, anyways.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, and then what kills me about Shamea too is like she does all this and then shimmies into the club, Dutty wined into the club like
I
nothing
mean,
ever happened.
I I had never seen something as
She
crazy as
said,
that.
came in the
You know
club,
what?
came in the club, turned.
But you know what? Okay, you know how I have a vendetta against Kelly because I can't stand that little munchkin. Um, but Kelly understands who is the A list, who's the A girls, who's the A group, who's the upper echelon. She said, "Let me go kiss the ring." She needs to ditch Shamea because Kelly, you don't have money, mama. As much as I want you off this show, I want your daughters to eat more. Quit hanging your coat with Shamea,
She
who
has
got to
to
go.
because Shamea is the only one putting a roof over her head and money in
No,
her
she
pocket.
she got under. She got it from under the roof. She's so stupid. She got
Yeah,
up under
but
the free roof.
Shamea is still at least connected, I guess.
I mean,
And
she's introducing her to rich Africans.
that at
Whatever.
the end of that are deciding to give her money for her teeth instead of to keep the lights on, but whatever, if that's what you want to do.
Everybody has priorities, child.
She goes to the club, she dirty winds into the club, clears the room like a fart, and then gets upset,
Like a silent but deadly fart.
clears the room out. Like everyone said, oh, Shamea, out of here. Like literally. And then wants to go outside and challenge everybody and was like, boy, you guys left. You guys didn't have to do me like that. Shamea, you are literally causing problems with everybody because they won't choose a side with you and Porsha. And the bottom line is this: if Shamea didn't, until Shamea brought mothers into this particular discussion, I have mostly been on Shamea's side because we have watched Porsha throughout the years really treat Shamea like the help. I was just
Yes.
watching on my
Mhm.
you know, Prime channel. They've been rerunning the season. That was the season where that crazy man in Miami was like, "Hey, little bitch," to Kenya and tried to hit her and stuff.
Tree, that was scary.
It was. And like in retro, I remember back in the day because I hated Kenya so much. I was like, "Oh, she instigated that." I mean, she did, but that was insane.
Sheree, I watched it back too during COVID as like a 30 something year old, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, like
Yeah. So
yeah.
it doesn't matter what she said.
No,
You're
he was
crazy.
crazy. But what happened was, like, Porsha was freshly divorced from Cordell. She had just started acting as the Porsha we see today. She was no longer, Cordell is
Huh?
not
Huh?
perfect by far. She was out of that. And
Sure,
now
I
Princess,
see that all the time.
and now she was in her full Princess of Thoughtlandia bag. And so Shamea, they go to Miami for the weekend and they get down there, and Shamea, who's not a friend of or a cast member, she's like,
Yeah.
"Welcome to Miami." And Kenya goes in her confessional, "Oh, look who it is. It's Shamea. Shamea, you is not kind, you is not smart, and you is not important. You is the help." And it was like, she literally said that in the confessional. And it was like, oh, damn. And the whole weekend, Shamea was just in the background of everything, like doing the most, trying to be seen. And it was just like cringe. But we saw Candy also try to, like, when Shamea wasn't even cast on the show, be like, "Porsha, why aren't you going to the wedding in Kenya?" Stuff like that. Porsha had
Now
full,
that was weird. That was
it
weird.
was. It's just
Wait,
never
what was
given
Portia's excuse?
something about
She
her
was on her
health.
period.
No, it was something about her health and like blood pressure or something like
Oh, blood
that.
pain. I thought she was on her period and she couldn't fly that long because of
It was
cramps or
something ridiculous. But like
it was
we have seen over and over again where Portia's kind of played Shamea as a background person in her band. And so Shamea gets on the show. Porsha acts funny towards her. To me, I'm just like not surprised. I've been largely on Shamea's side up until this point because Shamea's just wanted to be part of. It's like the same thing with Teresa versus Melissa, right? It's like you have the frame of thought where it's like Shamea, this was her thing. You could have just let her have Housewives of Atlanta. You got the rich husband. But to your point about Heather chasing fame her whole life, Shamea has also been chasing fame her whole life.
this is the thing with Shamia. And someone on another podcast made a good point that I kind of forget that they're like, oh, Shamia must be popular. And the other person's like, no, Shamia is very
She
popular in
is.
Atlanta. And I was like, you know what? You're right. She is popular, but she's not the it girl. She's not the top one, but
It's
she
like
knows
close but no
everybody.
cigar. My
Everyone
mom's
loves her.
one of my
Close
mom's
but no
good
cigar.
friends, KB is what we'll call her. Shout out to you. She's a native Georgia peach. And before the show started, she was telling me how excited she was for Shamea to be on the show because being
As
a
a
Georgia
housewife.
yeah, as a housewife. Because being a Georgia peach, she knew that Shamea had been in several different music groups. I guess she used to be in a music group with Carrie Hilson back in the day, I
I think she was
believe.
in like two of them, she said.
Yeah, like she's tried and she does have proximity to all these people that are big time players in Atlanta, such as Candy, Rashida. Well, if
Rashida.
you call Rashida a big time player, but you get my
In
drift.
Atlanta,
She's
maybe.
hanging out with Toya Bush Hair, or whatever her last name is now, Sterling. She's hanging out with all of those people. She's always been in those circles. She works with the Atlanta Hawks. So, I mean, if she hasn't made it, so to my point, Kenya was excited. Then I said her name. She was excited to see her on the show because being a local Georgia peach, it was like, oh, finally she's going to get her shot. And then
Yeah.
she got out here and she act crazy.
But and this is also the thing with I've noticed, and I was explaining this to Chandler, like giving her a little backstory about the whole Melissa and Teresa thing. Portia is the first, I'm gonna guess, granddaughter or grandchild. So I always feel like from watching Portia that her family holds
Wait,
her up as like,
Portia's not the first grandchild. She has an older brother.
okay, she's her granddaughter then. But anyways, the
Okay.
point I'm making is Portia is seen in her family as like the princess, the most important thing. Everyone rallies around that. Same thing with Melissa. She was the baby of the family. Her sisters were much older. They acted like she could do no wrong. They kissed her ass. Portia's family kisses her ass. I think in Shamea's family, her family kisses her ass. but the world also kisses Porsha's ass, and the
Yeah.
world does not kiss Shamea's ass. And I
And
think
also,
they're having
Shamea's
an issue.
family kisses her ass because of Gerald. You
Paying
know?
the bills.
Yeah.
Well, they tried to say Shamea's family has money, but then why her daddy got no teeth?
I think they say he's in the trucking business, right? Like,
Yeah, which makes very good money.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But you
But
know what it is? They probably had money, but he's probably just a bumpkin.
that's what I think. If he ain't got no teeth, then
I
kind
mean,
of what it's
he's
giving.
probably
It's
just a
kind of,
bumpkin.
but you
So
know what else? Both of their issues is both Shamea and Porsha, and I've always tried to not be friends with girls like this. They both have mothers that are way too involved in their female friendships. Like you could tell Miss
yes,
Diane, Porsha definitely grew up with Miss Diane telling her every single girl that was mean to her, it's because they were
I'm
jealous.
jealous.
And
They're
Shamea,
just jealous
same
of
thing.
you.
Yeah. And
They're
with
just jealous
Shamea's
of
case,
you.
Shamea probably did get picked on and stuff a lot because we're black, okay? She's dark skinned. She's
Mhm.
thin framed, so she probably was really thin growing up and stuff. And you
Yeah,
already
she
know
probably
how
was like 80 pounds wet.
yeah, you already know how that is. So in her case, her mom probably overcompensated for how mean people were. And I'm pontificating here, people. I don't know these people. I just know what they
No, that
say.
happens.
But you know that she probably overcompensated for how mean girls were or things like that and has made her the baby in that way. And then she's got
Mhm.
all these sisters too, Shamea. She's got 2 or 3 sisters.
I feel like Shamia is like me, has a bunch of siblings.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
there was 50 people in that
And
kitchen.
then on top of that, her mother's a holy roller. So
I thought you were gonna say a whore.
no, no. No. And you know it's bad when everybody's doing press right now. Like Cynthia was on her podcast with Crystal Minkoff, like somebody died. Like she was like, and mind you, she was there for Sex Dungeon Gate and all of that, but she was
Oh
on
my god.
there like they took it too far. Shamea bringing Portia's mother into this has taken it just
Because
too
girl,
far. Everybody, it's like,
she Miss Diane was like kind of like beneath Mr. Williams. And so
that's what I heard. That's what I heard. I heard that there's beef, like not that there's beef, but I heard that yeah, people on the Williams legacy side weren't happy about that pairing.
and I
And
think
that
we saw Lauren's
Lauren's
mama.
mother
I
was the
think we
one.
saw her once, and they are very different. They are very different, honey.
Yeah. And I mean, she has 2 kids by him, so I mean, because Portia has a brother, so and were they ever married? Do we know that? They had to have been.
Miss Miss Diane?
Yeah.
Yeah, China already got married back then.
Yeah, especially with that kind of a name behind you.
You knew each other for 2 months, get married. Sure, why not?
I don't think that there's a point that they can come back from this. Like, you know how black folks are. You
No,
can't come around my mom and we can't be friends anymore.
they should have. This was a friendship where it had to always have stayed the same. Portia's the star, Shamia's the help. I can say that because we're
You is
black.
not kind. You is not smart. Kenya is stupid. I was like, what
I
is
miss
wrong with
her.
her?
I miss that
She
little
said, you is
evil
the help.
contact wearing long haired
And it's
beauty.
like, they gave like every time Shamea would come on when she would guest appear, because again, she wasn't even a friend of like the season that
Yeah,
she
she
was
was
on
just like a
with Eva,
a
and they
secret
all went
friend
to
of.
like Amsterdam or something, and it was like nobody, Shamea to Eva. So I heard that you slept with Missy Elliott. Like,
But that's my issue with Shamia. And ultimately why I can never be on her side, except for the whole wedding thing. You're just so on iconic. You like, there's no couth to you about anything you do. She's like a little show monkey.
yeah, it is very performative.
She's always like you said, look at me. Oh, shot, let me shake my big ass. Like,
Half naked, half naked.
and
Like,
you know what she's trying to do? She's playing a parody of Porsha because Porsha is always but it works for Porsha because it's natural. You know who Shamia is also trying to be in her confessionals? The
hmm.
great Miss Nene Links. And she can never be Nene. The way you know how Nene is always throwing like shade in her confessionals and saying little quirks, Shamia, it never lands because you're
Oh,
not
I'll tell you what landed for me,
charismatic.
this one.
Oh, okay. See, that was
That
funny,
was
but she
funny.
but
That was
she made it
funny.
go on too long.
It did
She
go,
doesn't,
but
you
that's
know what
what
it
made
is?
it funny is how long it went on.
Cherie, she has no comedic timing. That's
She's
my issue
she's
with
funny
Shamea.
sometimes. Like there was a scene I think last season. Yeah, it had to be last season because that's when her and Porsha were kind of okay. They went out to it was the season where they went out to eat with fucking Ralph, and they were running
I
up the
forgot about
tab.
that.
They were running up the tab, right? And Porsha was eating everything, and Shamea goes, "You sure can't put it away, little lady," from White Chicks.
And me and Chelsea say it to each other all the
So
time.
every time, like she has moments. Like I just hate
Yeah.
that. Like this is what
Sometimes
it.
she does have comedic timing, but for the most part, her comedic timing is so off. And that is one of like the best things you can have to be funny, which is why I love Phaedra. Her comedic timing is always a 10 out of 10. She never misses a beat.
Yeah, she has good comedic timing, and I also like people who they just are, right? Like for instance, I'm starting to get annoyed with the whole Rhode Island cast, if I'm being honest. Like they are eating up the Bravo fame, which is fine, you should. But it's
It's
like,
the
oh my
first
God,
season.
every day Alicia's posting a picture of a cracker. Like every day, her and Joellen are posting photos of them eating crackers. And I'm just like, okay, we get like that, we get it. That's your
Yeah.
shtick. You know what I mean? And so I feel like Shamia is like that in a lot of ways. Like she's looking for her
Her
shtick, her
moment.
thing that she's
Yeah,
gonna
like
overplay. And it's like I
her
like your
clip.
personality by itself. You don't have to do all that.
But
You
I
really
think she's
don't.
just a little insecure and not comfortable being an actual peach holder yet. Because I thoroughly enjoyed Shamea until she got her peach. I was actually happy she got a peach. And
See,
then
I
she got a
told you I
peach.
was annoyed by her every time I saw her because she was always doing the most, like the
But
Eva moment.
but you know what? I think because I didn't see her home life, I was
Okay.
able to kind of forget it and be like, oh yeah, I like her and Portia's banter. The moment she got a peach, I was like, oh
Well,
brother.
the moment she got a peach, it became the Porsche show as opposed to showing us your life with Gerald. Because I think the short of the long of that is that that nigga's not around like that.
Well, his business is in Rhode Island.
He's got businesses
That is
all over Texas, Rhode Island, all over.
that is not close to Georgia. I think he said he was in North Carolina at one point.
Yeah, he's not. I don't think he's home a
And
lot,
Georgia's
but
a pretty big
I
state.
thought we would see lifestyle from her, like what she does day to day. What rich friends are you hanging out with? You know what I'm saying? Like as I was
Yeah.
watching, that's what I love about any of the Bravo shows that they do in London. I did check out the premiere of Housewives of London last night,
I
and
need to
right out
watch
the
it.
gate, they're already talking about who they're connected to in aristocracy and who their rich friends
That's
are.
what I also
It's
love
like we
about
would love to see you go to dinner with your rich friends, Shamia. What do
I
you
want to
have going
see
on?
rich women do rich women things that I can't relate to.
Right,
Please,
right.
let me peek beside the curtain.
Right. Like, I don't want to see you and broke ass Kelly fucking twerking on each other in your living room.
Tree, you know how I feel about pores on my housewife shows.
What bothers me about Kelly is like the fact that she really acts better than, and you and I probably have the same amount of money in the bank, and that's a diss to her, not me. Because
No,
I'm not on
honestly,
TV proclaiming to be wealthy.
she acts like I bet you if they told her to fly coach, she'd be like, oh, baby, I don't fly coach. Baby, you don't have a home. There is no plane.
A home, a car, a business, real teeth.
Like,
Like it's giving basic. Like the girls on Baddies are doing better in life than Kelly is.
oh, as Natalie Nunn says, all my bitches got money.
Period.
And I said, I know that's right,
They be
Madam
doing what they
Natalie.
want.
I
They
love
gonna
that
do what
song.
they want. That's my jam. But yeah, I hate to see Portia and Shamea's friendship go out like this, to where like it's completely. And listen, if they do come back together, then they're both ghetto, and they're made
Not
for
they're
each
both
other.
ghetto.
They're both ghetto, and this is just like they deserve each other. I'm sorry.
No, I agree, but it's like the perfect way to say it.
They're both ghetto because this is some ghetto ass shit. Like honestly, like
No, it's
that's what
very
bothers me about Atlanta sometimes, if I'm being honest, is because like, okay, yes, we do this shit to black people, and obviously we've seen the white franchises kind of like go even lower than this. But it's
let's not
like,
talk about the husband.
okay, but like to be like, and her daddy ain't never had no teeth, like to do all that, I'm just like, Portia, shut up. Like,
Well, her mama tried to sleep with my dad. Well, your mom slept with your dad's brother. Which one? I said, ooh.
I said, this
Sure,
is
you're
some
right. This
black
is
ass
very
shit. This is
ghetto.
some black ass shit. You guys stop it. Both of you stop it.
It's like, you know what? People kept saying that this season was giving love and hip hop.
Well, they haven't tried to fight each other yet. There have been no drinks thrown, so
That's true. I
calm
mean,
down, calm down. But
they're
what
still
else was hilarious
classy.
for me was as the mud was being slung, all the ladies being, stop, you guys! It was like
Yo.
Chloe when Kim and Courtney were
Oh
fighting, and
yeah.
Chloe was like, "Are you guys
Please
okay?" Like,
stop.
yeah, you guys. It was just like everyone's trying to stop you, and they were just like, "No, we're going to hell." It's like it's not. And you know what? You know what it had to be that really got under Shamea's skin was seeing Porsha Kiki with Kelly.
No, that is what sent her into psychosis. When
Yeah.
she saw her new Shamea, her help, Kiki with her arch nemesis, Shamea literally went into psychosis.
Well, the
She
thing,
she she couldn't compute.
you know what's bothering me about Porsha though, like since this particular season where it's like I guess you could call her the showrunner, right? She's like the main person is I feel like we're generally getting a performance from Porsha. She's been in this very like, oh yep, I'm Porsha. I don't react. I don't. Well, like how she's been dealing with Shamea and the whole like, I'm taking the high road. I'm not going to antagonize her. When it's deep with somebody, you know what you're doing that's antagonizing her. You
Mhm.
being how you're being with her and not talking to her and not trying to resolve it and acting like she doesn't exist. But it's okay if you guys are friends with her. I'm okay with that. No, you're not. Everybody knows that. And it's just been
Portia's
really
definitely putting
performative.
on an act. She's
Yeah.
putting on an act. She's trying to be, not the old Portia, which is not a bad thing. Old Portia was
Gross.
a
Because I
little.
would have snatched that bitch the minute my mom's mouth, the minute you said, you would have been across the
Cherie,
table.
I don't let my dad say anything slightly unfavorable about my mom, okay? I
Period.
am ready to cuss him out.
Period.
So I'm definitely not letting some not random, but my friend talk about my mama. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I said, Portia, you got a lot of restraint because I would have reached across the
Yeah.
table
Yeah.
and blacked out and tried to slap that bitch.
It would have been bombs over Baghdad,
My mom could be the
especially if
biggest
you
hoe in the
accuse my
world.
mother of doing something that I know my mom's not capable of. But let's go to that for a second. You notice Lauren, it's like they're both reacting to this tea like neither of them are surprised by it.
That she would have those allegations.
That either of them have that Shamea has these allegations or that Porsha has these allegations. I think both of them are true. I think because for her to be like, which uncle? And then when Porsha went upstairs and talked to Lauren, Lauren said, you guys are both throwing deep shots at each other.
Okay, you're right. So my whole thing is, I do think they're both telling the truth. I think Miss Diane tried to get the daddy. I don't think while they were married, but it was probably because they've been friends for a very long time,
Yeah.
the moms. It probably was like, oh, I like John. Let's say his name is John. And Miss Diane's like, well, I could get him because that's a bad bitch.
Yeah, she's a
So
very
she
attractive woman.
probably
Yeah.
probably saw he's a hard worker. She probably tried to slide on in. And then Shamea's mom probably ended up taking over because Miss Diane looks like she needs a man that's like fancy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he probably said, I'm going to go with this hometown girl, Shamea Mama. That's more my style. But
Hmm.
obviously, I'm going to be impressed by the hot bitch.
Yeah.
And I do think that Shamea's mom slept with her dad's brother. Probably not while they were married,
Right.
but it sounds like they all knew each other growing up.
And guess what? You're both too grown and you're both too fresh. Because what are you guys doing in grown women's business like that? Why are
Like
your
that.
mothers gossiping about each other to you guys?
To you guys. That's weird. Cherie, I swear all this stuff must have happened in the mid 70s to 80s. And I guess what? I don't care.
That's my thing. I would be like, listen, I can't tell you anything my mother has done. I wasn't there. I don't know. So what are you coming at me like about this for? This has nothing to do with who I am as a person. And now I gotta fuck you up.
And what do I care if my mama was a hoochie back in
What's that got to
1975?
do with me? What does that have to do with my character? And what does that have to do with why I don't let my fucking daughter come over your house?
But as Porsha said, she tried to flex on me with my daughter. Bitch, don't do that shit. I don't even have a child, but don't you ever try to say, well, I can be around your daughter. Bitch, that's a real quick
Well,
way to get
okay, I
slapped.
thought that was a reach because that is not what Cynthia communicated. What Cynthia said is that
No.
no, so it's like, come
No,
on,
I'm agreeing with you. That is not what Cynthia said.
it's not what
But
she said. So she didn't
Porsha
use
knows
PJ.
her best friend, and she knows what she meant by that.
I don't think she was trying to flex. I think she was trying to get sympathy by being like, well, at least I can still see PJ. At least I can still be part of her life. And that is how Cynthia communicated it. And Porsha said, fuck that. No, you can't. But it's just like, because Shamea
I think
also
it was
everybody
a
felt sorry for her.
I think it was a bit of both. I think she was trying to be like, well, we can't be that bad because I could still see your daughter. But I
Yeah,
do
but
also
you know
think,
it's by way of Dennis. So why would you even bring that up? Like, so. But that was pretty much that. I mean, yeah, we're both team Porsha as far as this goes. I'm open to changing my mind about that at any point during this season
I'm not.
because, like I said, Porsha is not exactly an upstanding citizen of, moral character. So in this
No.
particular fight, I will give her her props. But
You
we
want to
will
know who I'm really team?
too.
I'm team Phaedra. I'm really appreciating her and enjoying her this season.
She has had, in comparison to like what we saw as a performance on Married to Medicine from her, because I was like, if she's gonna come to Atlanta with that, you can keep it. But
Yeah.
also, I would be triggered as fuck if my ex-husband was ambushed on me as well. So, um, she has been a great voice of reason. She has been classy. She has been just a 180 of what we're used to from Porsche, from Phaedra. She's still slightly delusional. We need that in a housewife. We love
That's
that in a
why we love
housewife.
her.
But you got to give it to Phaedra. She's maintained her wealth throughout all these years on her own. How she does it, it has to be on the up and up because if it wasn't, we would know about it by now.
Yeah.
She's raising those kids on her own. They seem like great boys, both of them. She's taken Apollo's other son under her wing, it looks like as well. I
That
mean,
everyone just found out about.
yeah,
Love
I
that.
do believe that there's like redemption in people. I believe that her acting, how she acted towards Candy with the sex dungeon and everything was extreme hurt because of how Candy was handling the Apollo situation.
And
I will
that's
always
how I
stand
would have
by
felt.
that. Yeah, I think that it was, there's an African proverb or something where it's like if one person like is terrible to the child will burn down the whole village. And I feel like that's exactly what
Yeah.
happened with Phaedra. It was like, because again, I just rewatched that season on the Prime channel. It's like you're keeping Apollo stuff in your garage. His wife is coming to your restaurant openings, or his new girlfriend is coming to your restaurant openings. It was just
It's
also messy.
inappropriate.
I'm not condoning it, but I'm just saying I understood at the time that that action was extreme hurt on her
It
end
was,
from
yeah.
the friendship
She
that she
was
lost to
just
Candy because
acting
Candy was
out,
too busy being loyal to Todd.
which now they both ain't married to neither one of them.
Right. So, but obviously Phaedra's burned that bridge to the point where there's no rebuilding it, and that's fine. But that does not
Yeah.
mean that she doesn't have a redemption arc in her life.
Yeah.
We can all do terrible things and come back
She's
from
not a
it.
terrible person. She did something
She did
really
something
terrible.
bad. She did something bad, and she took a lot of time off, or they fired her for a really long time to, take some time off, rebranded herself on the traders. And TBD, housewives always have the ability to let me down. So we'll see if that
Yeah.
happens in the future.
Unfortunately.
But for right now, she's good in my hood. Like, I don't like, I'm not Candy. It's
I
hard for
love
me to hold that
I
grudge
love
against her.
her. And I'm sick of being like, she doesn't have a storyline. I would rather a housewife show up, be funny, witty, voice of reason, and not have a storyline than make up and do whatever the fuck Kelly and her
Her
titties are doing.
storyline is that she's still high off of being on the traders, so she took everybody to Scotland. She had them at her house for her Zen party. She has told us about her son. Her son, she said about Watch What Happens Live, about, I think it was on Watch What Happens Live, how close she is to their half
Oh
brother.
yeah, it was on Watch Hours Live.
Yeah,
Their
I mean, she's
half
giving
brother.
us her life. She's giving us what everybody else is giving us.
And when Cynthia was like, "Oh well, I know she's had more boyfriends, but also Cynthia, she has two small sons, and like my mom dated a lot of people and didn't tell me, and my sisters because we don't need to know everyone you date because we are children. You don't need to bring everyone around your kids."
And also, as far as we know, like we don't know anybody Phaedra dated. So if that's the story that she wants to tell, none of us believe it. But if that's the
Yeah,
story she wants to portray for her kids, we know you were letting Noelle have boyfriends at 12. But if that's the story she wants to portray for
because
her kids,
clearly, of course, Phaedra is dating, but obviously she doesn't want to say it because she has two young sons.
yeah. So
I
it
don't
is
think
what
it's
it
the
is.
craziest thing.
It is not everybody falls in love with everybody they meet, Cynthia,
And
but
gets married
I
in within
digress.
a year.
But that was it. That was the Bravo roundup. I mean, the shows are all in well, now Atlanta's mid-season, but Atlanta, it's early days. We're like, I mean, not Atlanta, Orange County. We have like 2 episodes.
Yeah, it's
Dynasty, it's
slowly
like
heating up
mid-season.
down
Yeah.
south in Orange County.
Yes. So make sure you're following us on all the things on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube. However, you like to receive content, we have it available for you.
We're
So if you like
there.
Spotify podcasts, if you like Apple podcasts, no but listen. Make sure you subscribe. Please comment. Please engage with us. We live on in the comments. I'm on threads all day long.
Oh
Okay.
my God. You're so good at being on threads. I need to get better. I read a lot of threads. I just need to thread more.
I just say things, and sometimes and
Yeah,
some of them are dead in the water.
I be in your comments.
So, I just watch TV and say what I'm thinking. So,
I just
we
need to start
love
doing
to
that.
engage. So, please engage with us, and we will see you next week. Bye.